what's happening here that's not happening anyplace else?
I mean, the competitive level starts at 4 years old.
Classic rivalry.
Hall of Fame type coaches, great personalities.
All three schools, though, they changed the game of college football.
Florida State Seminole,
Miami Hurricanes,
Florida Gators.
You want to dominate your opponents and you want to get stoned, make sure that you roll up.
It's the roll up, it's the vibes, it's a logo talk for everybody that know. If you know, you know. I've been doing this for a little minute. Wanted to switch it up and get the fans on here. Been starting to do it solo, but this originally started on Twitter when they had Periscope. I would go live. Fans would tune in and we would just talk, Gator news and what was going on and the vibes around everything Gator football and recruiting. So here we go. I want to bring this to YouTube, get some dope people from the timeline that everybody kind of cool with. And also, if you're interested in on the future, DM me before the logo talks, your email, and I can get you on here. You can hang out, get your takes off. The show is going to be somewhat quick. I don't want to make it too long and prolong and have you guys waiting around all evening for these takes. So we're going to try to keep it quick, brisk. Super chats is still available. If you guys want to super chat, get your questions off while people are on here hanging out with us. Go ahead and get those super chats off. Like, subscribe to the channel. These logo talks will be going down for Florida State and Miami as well in the future. So they'll all be separate. Each fan base will get their own little thing to hang out. Quick church announcements. December 21st is early signing day. So that's on the horizon. On the horizon, I'm sorry. That's on the horizon. So we'll talk about that a little bit today. Also, Samson Okinola, however you say his name, December 15th, he decides. That's this week, Thursday. So we'll talk about him a little bit as well. Jay Rashad is also a 5-star now. Just some laundry list of updates that we got to do. Let's hang out a little bit. Like I said before, like, subscribe. The roll-up is live tomorrow at noon, same channel. Me and the fellas will be talking our Big Three talk, but let's hang out. Let's get friend of the platform, friend of the show, my guy Ryan B, to hang out, and then we'll start sprinkling people in as we go and have a fun little conversation about everything Gator football. Ryan,
what's up,
my guy, how you feeling?
We're good, man. Hey, man, before we get started, listen, I know we're going to talk all things Gators, right? But we got to give a shout out. Rest in peace, Coach Mike Leach. The Pirate passed away.
Hold on 1 second, because I can't hear you. I'm having some technical issues here.
What?
Give me 1 second.
Oh, no, this is not
here we
good.
go. Now I hear you. I hear you.
I was on a roll, man. Nah, and look, I know we're going to talk Gators today, but rest in peace, Coach Mike Leach. He passed away earlier. The Pirate was a legend, American treasure. Man's got takes on offense, defense, wedding dresses, no matter what it is. My man had takes.
Absolute
he was
legend,
great.
Man.
Love that guy. Even though, he never coached for the Gators, but, just it's awesome to watch good people have success. That's all good, right? So rest in peace, Coach Leach.
That came out of left field. He had, I thought, a good season. I spoke about him a few shows ago on the roll-up and said that I thought he was doing better than I projected in Mississippi. His personality, I thought, would be a clash. Him with the media and the locals there, I thought wasn't a good match, but he was seemingly doing good. And I like the friction he was causing in the SEC West, man. So rest in peace to Coach Leach. He's probably a top 1 or 2. I don't know where you got him at your pecking order, but he gotta be 1 or 2 when it comes to post game antics,
absolutely.
speeches. He's one of the GOATs in that for sure.
I got him at 2. because I got the OG. I got the old ball coach at 1.
Ball coach.
I got the ball coach at 1, man. I've been in those press conferences with the ball coach, and he said stuff like that didn't make the press. You're like, oh shit.
Right.
So, no, Leach was awesome. Just love that dude, and he could draw him up as good as anybody else, right? So, rest in peace, Coach Leach. Man, look, Gator football this year was like you said many times, and we talked about it on No Cap. This team was bipolar, right? It didn't matter from game to game. Sometimes from half to half. We saw it in the Texas A&M game. Defense couldn't stop a nosebleed, and then all of a sudden they couldn't move the ball in the second half against Florida State. The offense looked unstoppable in the first half, and then what the hell happened? So, this team was it's bipolar. And I don't know if it had to do with people pressing, not knowing what they're supposed to do. I don't know, but, you got to trust Billy's going to get it fixed. We'll see what happens. But it's got to start with talent. It has to start there. He's got to sign a good recruiting class this time. I mean, he did good, right, in his transition class. This is the bump class. This has to be top 10. It will be top 10, but it's not going to happen overnight. And that's where we as Gator fans got to realize, like, Kirby walked into the University of Georgia, and that team was loaded with talent because Mark Richt recruited his ass off, right?
Right.
Urban Meyer walked into the University of Florida. Florida was loaded with talent because Ron Zook, while he could not coach, recruited his ass off. So, Billy Napier is walking into a team that, look, I don't want to talk ill of Florida Gator players. I love them. I love every Gator that wears the uniform. But this team is not national championship caliber as far as talent's concerned. So it's got to happen from a talent infusion. I really would like to see him get an OC, although, who knows? I mean, you get hired, like Spurrier said, look, you get hired to take the head coaching job because you're good at calling plays, you call plays. That's what you do. So, whatever. We'll see what happens. But I feel like next year's going to be better than this year. Next year will be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be all good.
Let me get your opinion on the transfer portal quarterback. We lost Jalen Kittner. We lost Anthony Richardson. Well, so we're a little behind the 8-ball when it pertains to our quarterback depth chart. And we have a slew of options right now in the portal. Our fair share of opportunities. Sam Hartman hasn't entered it, but there's some speculation he may enter it. But right now you have Michael Pratt out of Tulane, who I think we end up getting. I don't know. This is just my hunch, the feel on it. I think we end up with Pratt. Also like McCall out of Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
I'm hearing that.
I like Grayson McCall.
In Auburn. What's your opinion on the transfer quarterbacks and who we should get?
Well, first of all, I mean, so I don't like the two multi-time transfer USC quarterbacks. I'm not sold on JT Daniels. I'm not sold on Keaton Slovis. I'll watch Keaton play. I live in Pittsburgh. I watch a kid play. He's got some skills, but I mean, he was recruited to USC when USC was over recruiting guys. And so I'm not sold. And you transferred. Now this will be your third transfer. JT Daniels, the same thing. I think it's his fourth transfer. Sorry, no, I'm out. Give me somebody else. The Austin Reed kid, I don't know if he's committed somewhere else yet. You can't fake championship caliber, right? So
there's no interest
you want
no contact. According to my
I don't get it.
There's no contact with Austin Reeves. I'm not sure what it is. And speaking to Denny Thompson on one of the logo talks that I had before, he spoke of there's 3 quarterbacks that he knew of that we contacted. Not the exact names, but he knew there was 3 guys, and Reeves was not one of those guys.
Yeah. I was kind of disappointed. Look, Phil Dracovic out of Boston College is committed to Pitt. He's going home. He's from the Pittsburgh area, from Pine Richland School District. I coached Little League ball in that school district. I kind of know the kid a little bit. He's an incredible talent. Took a team that was basically an all-white team. It had a couple brothers in there, not many. It's basically an all-white team and just shredded everybody in Pennsylvania. They went to 2 consecutive state championships. They won the second one. Dracovic is an incredible player. Went to Notre Dame initially because that was his dream school. And when Brian Kelly offered, he committed, right? But then he got lied to by Brian Kelly, and so he transferred out. I like Phil Dracovic a lot. I think he's got a ton of potential in the right system. And Napier does have that system. But, he's going to go over there to Pitt. He's going home, play in front of mom and dad, which will be fine for him. But, I mean, to be truthful, I wish Florida, if I was Florida, I'd stay on him. He's committed. He ain't signed. So, but I like the Reeves kid. Outside of that, Grayson McCall, I like. Insert quarterback here. Just get you tied over. But if they don't get a Grayson McCall, Austin Reeves, somebody like that who is going to be a bona fide starter, I'd throw the kid in there. I just throw the kid in there. I mean, we've had freshmen be successful before. I mean, Stetson Bennett's a walk-on 2-star guy, and he's starting at Georgia. You telling me that Jalen Rashada can't be better than that?
I mean, he's playing with the Avengers as well. So,
well, he is. I mean, but
the talent infusion around him makes his job a lot easier. I don't even think Stetson Bennett is that talented, but he's just handing the ball off and throwing to like the Monstars.
I know, but if you don't get one of these guys that is a bona fide starter, I'd throw the kid in there and like, all right, just grow him up. He's gonna make his mistakes, but we're just gonna deal with it.
All right, let me read this super chat real quick. Shout out my man Sal Mojica. Am I saying that
Mojica.
right?
Mojica.
Yes, I should have known by Sal to add that Hika with the Espanol. 5-star university, baby. Shout out
Yes, it
to
is.
my man Billy and O'Hara. Back to back. Jay Rashada just got reclassified, re-ranked as a 5-star on 247
Love it.
Sports. That makes Lagway and Jay Rashada 2023 and 24 class back-to-back 5-star quarterbacks. I don't remember the last time if we've ever done this. I damn sure don't remember the last time, man. So Billy cooking with hot grease out here a little bit. Brain Tez
I think
in
maybe
real quick while we got some time. Brain
Yeah.
Tez in. We'll keep it flowing from there.
I mean, maybe the last time we did something equivalent to that was when they signed Werfel and then they got Doug Johnson back to back. That might be the last time we did that.
Yeah, I definitely went following recruiting back then. Right?
No, it wasn't like it. Come on, it wasn't like it is now.
No,
not back in the
all.
day. I only knew who Werfel was because I played against him in high school. He shredded our defense just like he did Kentucky. Didn't matter.
Taylor, Brain Tez in. There we go.
What's up, Ted? Oh, hey, we got Harrison too.
What it do?
What up?
Let it ride.
Might as well.
If you don't know Harrison, it's Harrison954 on Twitter. Infamous Gator fan and Gator Twitter, hangs out all the time. Also a friend of the show and platform. And also my guy Tez, one of the fan favorites, my guy from St. Louis, introduced the fish and spaghetti to the platform of Big Three. Whole lot of vibes out of St. Louis, man. Y'all boys, what up, man?
What it is? What it do?
Fish and spaghetti? I
Hey.
know that story. We can talk about that later. But
You know damn well you know what it is, Harrison. If you don't, I'm gonna bring it to your ass.
If I don't, I don't know. I want to. Hey, bring that next tailgate you pull up to.
I got you, bro.
I got to try everything this year. So
I got it.
All right, bro.
It slaps, bro.
As a guy that's a pescatarian, I don't eat beef anymore. When he brought that to the table, at first I was just like, bro, who the hell mixing fried fish and spaghetti? But when you start cooking it, it all makes sense as the aroma start flying off the stove. You're like, all right, it might be all right.
Because everybody think it's supposed to be something that you're supposed to like put on top of each other, and it's actually the spaghetti is a side, not a damn. You know what I mean? One dish.
You're not grinding up fish and putting it in the spaghetti.
Right, right.
I mean, shit. All right. Let me ask for this: for one game my senior year, I need all at once. I need the spaghetti fish. I need Paul's seafood boil, and I need Trey's wings. That's all I want for my senior year. In one game with all three of those in hand. That's all I want.
Boy.
You'll be a super senior when you get out of here.
Everyone else chilling? What? What's up?
I said you're gonna be a super senior when you get this plate. Like, how soon are you out of here?
This is like my fifth fall, but I'm chilling. I'm vibing. The athletes get a COVID year, shit, I might as well
You're
too.
God's time, bro. You
I'm
got a
chilling,
COVID
man.
year?
I'm blessed. The athletes got a COVID year. I might as well take a COVID year.
I like it. Real quick, Harrison, what's your opinion on the recruiting? That's your bag. Me and Ted's gonna talk a little bit. Ted's like he fucks with the recruiting a little bit, but he's more introduction and what happened throughout the season. Harrison, we winding down. Big decision with my man Samson Ukunlola, however you pronounce his name, out of Massachusetts, 5-star offensive tackle. If you do not know who he is, what's your opinion on his decision on the 15th, and also National Signing Day is rolling around the corner as well?
I mean, first off, adding my opinion on Samson is Florida just signed Jaden Rashada and DJ Lagway, which is the two best quarterbacks we've signed since Tim Tebow. There's no question about that. All due respect to Felipe Franks and the ratings, but like we all knew what we were getting, and he was a massive project under McElwain. So when you sign these two guys, you need a really good investment for protection, and I'm calling Samson homeowners insurance, because if you get Samson, that is a 3-year starter. He's physically built already to come in and play day one in the SEC. He's your left tackle day one, and he is playing for 3 years at the University of Florida. He's probably a 38 to 40 game starter. So I think needing an offensive tackle is big. I do think if there were one kid to go all in on and make a really big run on, it would be him. I I mean, Miami's led for most of this cycle. I have a hard time seeing Florida getting. I think it's really going to be close, but with the decision being 4 days away and Mario taking it in home because they can't make a bowl game, and we made a bowl game because we don't suck as much. I think at the end of the day, I do think that on Thursday I wouldn't be shocked if he picked Florida, but I would lean Miami in like a coin flip. So I know that's not the news everyone wants to hear. That's just kind of like where I'm at with the whole thing right now. I also just need to see.
I think that's where most people are at with it. I think like the feel is that Miami League, this is business, right? So
It's all business. All this is business now.
Yeah, shout out to all these writers and everybody that's gonna, do all their little clippings and clickbait and get you guys to click on all this stuff. But none of these writers know the real business that's going down. Like this is transactional, real business shit. It's not just a business decision because you're going to the top 5 university. It's real business transactions and negotiations that's going down. So it's a guessing game. I do know that Miami feels good. They felt good this entire time. You're lying to yourself if you think that we're not in the back of their mind. This past weekend, the freaking visits he did in the past, like within a month and a half, how many times he's been on campus. I think it goes down. I think nobody knows shit. I think we'll all find out at the same time. I think Miami staff, Florida staff, I think everybody is going to find out at the same exact time if you're not in the Samson's camp.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how it's gonna be with Samson or Pancake, whatever you want to call him.
Pancake,
I also think
waffle.
no waffles. But hey, if he goes to Miami, I can say Waffle House never did me wrong. But but I also think this is how it's gonna be for Des Ricks. I mean, this kid's top 3 schools are LSU, Alabama, and Florida.
People counting Bama out of Samson. I think that they're like trying.
There is not one hat on Samson's top 4 that would surprise me, because if he goes to Michigan State with his cousin, Miami or Florida seems where he wants to be. But Bama is Bama. I mean, at the end of the day, Bama is Bama and will always be Bama.
They didn't clear their roster just to be playing around and for funsies, bro. I think,
No, Bama didn't purge. Bama hasn't even had the coaching staff purge yet, so that's going to be another interesting domino effect throughout college football after the season ends. But, I mean, for the rest of the class, I mean, Desmond Ricks, I think Florida's in a much better spot than most people probably think. I think most people are focused on Pancake. I think Florida is in a much better spot for Desmond Ricks than a lot of the writers seem to think. I think they're in a very good spot with John Walker and Jordan Hall. I mean, the commitment to the... What's up?
I feel they're in a good spot with Ricks just because of the Cormoney chatter that I heard last week, right? There was some second guessing with him going to Miami, and I know for sure that he did reach out to our staff. And for them to kind of shrug that away, that made me put more attention on Ricks, I would say. Because they have to feel somewhat good about him or some other guy that we don't know about. But for them to like shut that down and then really entertain that, I thought that was very interesting.
I mean, yeah, you don't shrug off a 5-star, really talented player like Cormani McLean if you don't feel good about something else. I mean, that's just bad business on Florida's end. Right. I mean, knowing what I know about Ricks and knowing people close to him, like, this kid's all business. Like, he's graduating high school. I know he's technically older than Cormani, but he's graduating high school in basically 2.5, 3 years. So, I mean, he's clearly focused. Like, he has a great camp. He's got great people in his corner. His top 3 schools are Alabama, LSU, and Florida. And I mean, for DBs in the last 10 years, I can't think of, except maybe Ohio State, there's no better option for anywhere for DBs except those 3. So I mean, he's got good options. He's clearly focused on development, and I think
you didn't even mention Corey Raymond.
No, I was literally just about to say, I think with how business oriented this kid is, with like IMG, he's got great representation. He's got great camp, great people in his corner, good family. Like, I think at the end of the day, I think Corey Raymond can get, I don't want to call it a get out of jail free card, but I think this is the guy that everyone kind of thought Cormani was supposed to be 2 months ago. I think Corey basically gets even.
He still got 2 visits, right?
Yeah, Ricks has 1 visit left. He visited Florida 2 weeks ago or last weekend, and then Bama this past weekend, and then this week he goes to LSU, and then it's the dead period. So he's got one more visit. Florida was in Bradenton today, I believe. So I'm assuming they checked in on him before the bowl game, then used one of their weekly visit before they went out to Las Vegas today.
Is he signing early?
Yeah, he's signing early, and he's expected to be enrolled on campus in January. So he's already day one. He's day one ready. He's already like 170 pounds, 175 pounds. So all you really have to do is throw 15 on him.
For the average fan that don't know who Desmond Ricks is, he was originally a 2024 recruit, reclassified to the 2023 class just like a couple months ago. And it's just been and I forewarned the people on that back in August. I said, hey, whoever's recruiting Desmond Ricks should recruit him like he's in the 2023 class. And I think that we did that the entire cycle. You just never know. He's been on campus plenty of times this fall. Let's talk a little bit of, real quick, let's just segue. Let's talk a little bit of the season. How you feel about your offense? Anthony Richardson's on pro. We get to see my man Jack Miller playing his bowl game this week. There's been a lot of chatter about, does Billy need an OC? I gave him mine from a staff and how this whole thing was built standpoint, why he won't hire an OC. But Tez, what's your overall opinion of the offense, man? I know you was enjoying that running game. You're a running back guy. But what's your opinion of the offense, bro?
So, man, like being a running back in college, dude, it was like the best thing to see it, but it was games where it was inconsistent, too. I mean, I listen to your episodes every week, and you said those same things where it was just inconsistent at times where, we throwing the ball 40, 50 times. I've heard, if we throwing the ball more than 30 times a game, we probably losing the game. You know what I mean? Because our strongest suit was the running game. But I honestly don't feel like it was a problem with the offense more than the management of the offense. You know what I mean? I feel like there was times where, because people think that when you calling for, when people calling for an OC, they think that it's just about, this your play calling, that we need different plays. And it's not that. It's the fact that we need somebody that's actually game managing him to let him know, like, hey, this is the perfect time to run this play or, throw this ball, and he would, like, for example, you was pissed a lot at the 2-minute drill, just like everybody else was, because I ain't gonna lie, it was terrible, dude. And those are perfect reasons right there, what I'm saying the OC is for right there. So, I honestly, I got the same opinion as a lot of people, but I feel like the biggest thing to me is there was times where it felt like he needed help, like just managing the game. It was managing that game, and it's not just like the play calling. So that's how I feel about it, bro.
No, I feel you on that take, man. Like I've said this on every time I had an opportunity to talk about just the 2-minute warning offense. It's just like non-existent. It's a shit show every single time. And I didn't see a single game where I liked the way we ended the first half. And also just situational football. You could tell I'm interested to know, like, what's his protocol in calling plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most even if like somebody's on the field, there's somebody in the box calling down shit, right? To say, hey, this is what I see. I would want to know, like, who's his eyes in the sky, and if it's a nerd, if it's some analytic guy, what exactly are they telling him? Because there's a lot to be desired in that fashion, but I don't think the offensive scheme is bad at all. Like, it's productive.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think there's some management and some situational football that needs to be cleaned up. But also, when you hiring a guy like Billy, bro, like with the experience lacking, you expect these. And I called this when we hired him. You don't hire a young buck like this. Is probably the youngest staff in the SEC, not college football. It's one of the youngest staffs out there. When you hire a staff that young, you expect some kinks on the football field, but also some buzz on the trail, and that's what we're seeing, man.
And you made a good ass point that I didn't even think about, because I remember I can't remember who we was playing, but a lot of people kept calling the fact of like AR need to pull the ball, and I didn't think about it until you put it on the time. Like, man, I don't even think half the time them is plays where he is supposed to pull the ball. You know what I mean? And honestly, nobody really even knows that. And that goes back to even Dan's time where he was letting AR or letting Emery do things, and it was just like, are they supposed to be doing this or not? You know what I mean? And like I said, I really didn't even think about it that way until like you made it make sense, and I go replay some of them games, and half the time he not even looking. You know what I mean, to do that. Yeah, exactly. So
you can tell some of them he's not gauging what the DN is going to crash down or what he's biting on. It's predetermined. This guy's going to take the dive.
Yeah, because you don't really see that until like you go replay the game, because during the game you're not really paying attention what AR is actually looking at. When you go replay that game afterwards, you go see that he's not even reading that DN to go take the ball. Yeah, you made a good point on that one too, man.
So really quick to go off both of your points in about the end of the half. I did a tweet before FSU, and this year in the middle 8, which is the last 4 minutes before the first half and the first 4 minutes or longer, depending on the first drive outside the second half. Well, Florida was 2-7 and 3 in the middle 8, and one of the wins was against Utah, the other one was against Eastern Washington. So really 1-7 and 3 against meaningful teams. And the only win we had with Utah was because Anthony went Superman and had a 60-yard run before the half. So that was my biggest thing before the year. I mean, as the year went on, it was, this is how you lose games, and we got 14-0 in the middle 8 and against LSU and Tennessee. I mean, that's basically where we lost the game. So that for me is the biggest thing. I mean, like both you said, like, I don't hate the scheme at all. I actually really like the scheme. I think there was a lot of factors that went into year one of not really trusting Anthony's health, not trusting the defense, because I know neither of you trusted the defense this year at all. Like, I think there's a lot of factors that kept him from coaching how he wanted to coach, but I don't even really want an OC. I just want someone, maybe like a quarterback's coach with experience in like game planning, just to make things easier, because it's a lot for Billy. I mean, Billy's got to be a CEO, play caller, a quarterback's coach. Like, he's got to draw shit up. I mean, it's a lot. That's a lot for any head coach, let alone someone who is his first SEC job.
I don't think he's doing all of that though, Harrison. I think he's delegating a bunch of nerves to do it. It's just on paper, we as a regular fan think like Billy's doing all of this work, but he got 100 staffers.
Right.
He's delegating the work a little different. Like O'Hara is not even on field coach.
On field.
Right. He's not on field, but any recruit, they're gonna talk about O'Hara like he's the quarterback coach or like part of the offensive play calling and development of that position. So just think it's to delegate a little bit, and we'll see the way he's formatting it if it works. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just what they think is innovative as far as the way they setting their staff up. And we'll see how it all play out. I want to keep it moving.
Let me ask y'all this real quick. So I've seen people say this. Do y'all think it was, and it's hard to say this with just being AR, but do you think he was limited to certain things? Like, was Billy limited to certain things because he knew either he was trying not to be injured?
No, I know he was limited to something, not just because of the injury thing, right? And I think that's twofold. I think Billy knew that he had no real backup at a certain point. Like, Kidner was hurt. You had Jack Miller hurt, so he had to protect them from injury from that standpoint. And then also AR is trying to protect himself for injury for the NFL. Like, we all not blind. We know what it was. You know, I'm pretty sure agents and NFL scouts were in his ear, and he know what his potential is as far as getting drafted. So he was protecting his body some, and he dealt with injury last year with that hamstring. So I think he was protecting himself, and I think just outside of the injury stuff, I think Billy was handcuffed with what AR was comprehending and executing. A lot of those looks and what Billy run, he want to put a lot of power into the quarterback's hands and getting us out of bad looks and stuff too. I think there was some looks that we don't know about that AR kept us in. It was just typical looks, and also just with hitting a lot of the easy throws, a lot of the screen passes he struggled with. Slants was coming in hot. So I think Billy was just handcuffed with a lot of things. I think the whole us lining up and running the ball on these weird third downs because he didn't trust AR to throw the basic slants or some of the easy passes that he should be able to make. He didn't trust him to do that, so we was going for fourth downs that we shouldn't have been going for and being put in some weird situations. So,
and I agree with that too.
I love the guy, but he put us in the box with his arm a little bit.
We didn't even talk about not using the running backs in the passing game either. Like our running backs were non-existent in the passing game, and we had
not even
Yeah,
just that, but not having 2 and 7 on the field at the same time when your tight end is you motioning your tight end to be pointless. Like, why are you not putting 2 and 7 out there at that point? Like, why?
I mean, yeah, this like you said,
the quarterback draw was there all year. I'm just like, bro, go 5 wide, and literally every team would just empty out the box, and you would see like the red CB part as soon as the ball gets snapped, and we just wouldn't just with our offensive line, you spreading the team out like that and getting the linebackers out of the way. Like, think about that.
Run behind Big Cybo, man.
Because I'm not gonna lie, at the end of the year, if I was a defensive coordinator watching our film and I see a tight end motioning out, don't even follow him. Yeah. Don't even follow him. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. He's not even going nowhere. So, but yeah, man.
Get some cardio in.
Yeah.
Any final takes before y'all boys get out of here? What y'all got, man? We Harrison, let you know what you think we can finish on early signing day, and then Tez, what you got, man?
All right, go ahead.
My early sign day prediction. I'll go one by one. I think Pancake goes to Miami. I think Florida gets. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer. I should have done that last.
They about to get your ass on the TL, boy.
Yeah, they about to get. I don't care. No mean tweets. No mean tweets for me. But I think Florida gets. Mark Fletcher. I think Florida gets Jordan Hall. They should get John Walker, so I'm just gonna say they should. Yeah, I think that's a solid finish, and I do think I'm gonna go out on a limb and be bold and maybe make up for being negative on Pancake. I think Florida gets Desmond Ricks. We'll see how that closes, but I think they close with a 5-star, man.
Georgia actually wants Jordan Hall.
I mean, if Georgia wants Jordan Hall, I will. I'm not scared of Kirby. I'm not scared of Kirby anymore, man. I'm really not.
I want to go on record saying
shouldn't be.
I was just shocked. There's some feedback coming back from Jordan Hall that maybe Georgia didn't like his senior film, and maybe that offer they was pulling back on it. But to see that they were putting in their final pitch and going in home, it's a different vibe. So I do like what we stand in his recruiting. We'll see where we at with it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to close. That's a kid you got to close on. He's from Gator Country. I mean, as much shit as I give Duval County on Twitter, I mean, he is from Duval and Jacksonville's Gator Country, so you got to get kids from there. I mean, we've said all cycle, got to get some I-4 kids. John Walker's probably the best I-4 kid there is.
John Walker is him.
He's him. That's a 3-and-out type kid. So you got to fix your trenches, man. They've done a great job fixing the D-line. I mean, I did a chart the other day that I'm probably going to put out on Twitter in the next couple days, maybe after signing day, on how they flipped the room. So overall, I mean, if there's one 5-star in this class and it's top 7, I think that's job done. With the portal, I think a top 7 class is the new top 5 if you do well in the portal. So overall, I think if you're getting a top 7 class, it's 6-6, 6-7, 7-6, whatever the record is after Sunday. I mean, that's job done for when you didn't have your quarterback in the class until November. So that's good with me.
What do you do?
All right, so I ain't gonna really talk about recruiting as much as I'm gonna talk about like for the next season, bro. But you know what I mean? Like I watch recruiting, bro, but I don't play these kid games though. Bro. But hey, look, I learned that. But for real though, man. I personally think that, especially coming off Harrison Tate, that we really need depth at some of these positions badly, man. Like. O-line is okay, like we got it there, but we do need a couple elite guys. But man, tight end, D tackle, which I meant to ask you guys, the guy that we just got out the portal, is he a D tackle or a D end?
He's a D tackle.
I like him D tackle because he's a lot like Calais Campbell in my opinion, but kid that just developing a little late. You know, he's a little too big for his frame. You know, kids be a little lanky and goofy when they're young, but he's coming into his own a little big. I think he's gonna be a guy.
You can't teach 6'7", 300. I mean, that's what he's listed at online. So I mean, even if it's 6'6", 290, that's still bigger than a lot of the guys we've had the last 5 or 10 years.
I mean, physically, if you look at the frame and just the presence, you kind of replacing Dexter.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting bigger on the D line, which is something we've all complained about for the last, I don't know, since McElwain maybe.
Right. Yeah.
About that, yeah.
So yeah, man, just just my last takes though, but my last takes is really just make sure that we get depth in the portal and just getting these important positions, man, because that's what's important nowadays, man, is this portal. Like, it's crazy out here now. It's a different ball game, and it's eating season now. So, and we got the staff to do it.
Yeah, you got 1 million people, bro. Good.
Exactly. Go out there and do it.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all boys for hanging out with us. We're gonna keep it moving. Logo talk, Harrison Tez.
Appreciate it, man. Anytime.
Appreciate it, my boy.
Already. It should be super interesting, man. Lining up, man. The transfer portal got some studs in it. We need a lot in a lot of different areas. We losing 25 to 30 kids. We got my man Anthony Beck and my guy Ben Raw Diets pulling up. Friends of the program, friends of the platform. Y'all already know the vibes, man. What's up, fellas?
What's going on with you, man? Everything good? You can hear me?
Yeah, God bless. Yeah, I got you. First of all, you know, it's winding down to signing day. I appreciate y'all boys putting up the logo talk, man. But if y'all got any takes on just the vibes, any questions, where y'all at with it? How y'all feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good coming down the stretch, man. You know, I think this staff out here working, man. I think they out here working for real.
Surprise with Samson. I know my man Harrison is on here. I think it sets up right that it looks like we don't get the in home because we're going to do a bowl game, and you know, like the guys get the last in home. But this shit is business, man. Going in at home and also being able to text and FaceTime. As long as you can still talk business, Samson's Ukin Lola's made it very clear that this is a business deal. But I think we offer a little bit something different. If the numbers could get similar, right? If it comes down to business and you can make the numbers similar, I think we have a quarterback situation and you know, a productive offense situation that makes more sense. And also a first rounder that's about to go in Osiris Torrance that you can sell of. Hey, this is what we developed. This is what happened with this kid that we just brought up from Louisiana all the way through. We're gonna see this kid go first round, and also how good that kid was. Like, this kid ain't give up a sack. You know what we doing around here a little bit. Let's see where we at with it. But I feel good somewhat. A lot of these are 50-50s, but I feel good on Samson. It's not the Gators. I feel good, like momentum wise.
I definitely feel good about him, man. And don't be surprised, bro. Don't be surprised if you see Billy pop up over there tomorrow sometime after practice, before practice.
Fire up the PJ. Think you fire up the PJ from Vegas?
Don't be surprised, man.
I wouldn't mind it, baby. I wouldn't mind it. He fired
the
PJ.
He didn't take his in home. I think they sent staff up there one time, but I don't think he went. Don't be surprised.
Right. I like, we've been polluting the earth, man. I don't mind it, man. Polluted one more time to head out there from Vegas to Boston to see if we could, you know, throw our hat into like another pitch or whatever. But I like what we had with it regardless. I think it's a lot of business been going down. He's been on our campus a lot, like more than any other campus in the last month and a half, 2 months, right? And I think that's going to account for something. Supposedly on his dime a couple times. The people that we had on campus with him, the vibes wise, Miami had him over the summer, so it's also with all that energy we got going. Like I said, it's also business going down. So if the numbers are similar, if the numbers are similar, it'll all come out in the wash. Ace, how you feeling? Good, baby?
Yeah, man, I feel good with what we got going on right now. Samson, I would say it's 50-50 right now. You know, you're hearing some Miami smoke right now, but I mean, I just went on 3 message boards and saw somebody who's a reliable poster basically say Billy may have a Zoom meeting set up with him tonight after the Miami home visit.
It's
So
all vibes.
I mean,
like, what's the end?
That's one of
it's 2022, baby. Like, you got technology out here, Ace.
Exactly,
You know?
and for me personally, I feel like with the rest of the recruit class, that's my number one target. That's my number one target.
Man. If I'm Billy, I call him from the slides down at the casino level and say, hey man, I know you might got an in home with Mr. Loafers. Prom Loafers is pulling up to talk to you. But check this out, I'm in Vegas. We kicking a little bit. This was happening when you go to bowls, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta recruit into the finals, man. And I don't think just you going to his living room is the biggest difference in this kid's recruiting. So don't overweigh that.
Because like you said, like it's a business. I mean, you look at Florida having a consensus first team All American in Osiris Torrance right there. And then you have another All SEC, a first team All SEC player in Ethan White at the other guard position. So you're seeing the development from these guys and from the staff. He has to look at that and be like, I can go there, be a 3-year starter, and be possibly a 2-time All American, depending on what he does out there. He's got that kind of potential. So I would love to add him in this class. And with Desmond Ricks, that's the other target. That's my other target right there that we got to land. I feel actually a lot better than a lot of these writers feel. A lot of them are still saying LSU. They're trying to throw Bama in there, but Florida's right. Florida's got some up their sleeve, I feel, with him. I feel like that's going to be one where nobody expects him to pick Florida until maybe the day of his announcement. Then you'll probably start hearing it. So I feel good with where we are with Desmond Ricks right now.
Yeah, I think Corey Ramey's going to land a 5-star defensive back, bro. You know what I'm saying? We were all, and I do think Jakeem Jackson is on that level with those guys. Like, don't let nobody lead you astray. Shareek Denson and Jakeem Jackson are absolute studs that Bama and other big dogs are after. We just so happen to be recruiting very well and keeping those guys in the fold. But I think Corey Ramey ends up with Desmond Ricks as well. We'll see where we at with it. The mom says things about just the staff, the family environment, the community feel when he was in Gainesville, and also right now I think they're in Perry, Florida. Originally from Virginia, but right now they're in Perry, and I think that's a closer ride and transition. So we'll see where we at with it. We got a relationship there. I know LSU does as well, but I like the buzz I'm hearing lately.
Right, and real quick, another one I'm keeping my eye on that's gonna shock y'all. I'm keeping my eye on Quay Russaw. I feel a lot better than a lot of people think with him. I think honestly because of the way Florida's recruiting and what they're selling them on. I don't think they're selling them on being on just the defensive line. They're selling them on moving around everywhere on the linebacker position. So that's one I'm keeping my eye on. I don't think he's as locked in to Alabama or Auburn as some people think.
I think Dad gonna play a big part in that too. You know, being down here in Florida and being a big Gator fan. I think that's gonna play big in that decision too. I like Russaw as well. I think we sneak in on him. Well, I don't think we sneak in. I think we sneak in according to other people. But I'm real high on him. I like Ricks too, man. His mom been speaking real high about the staff. He been speaking high about Coach Raymond over there. You know, like, you know, I kind of think that's a Florida lean too, man. And Fletcher, I'm hearing some, you know, Fletcher down the street. So I'm hearing some positive vibes coming from over that way. You know, so
yeah. I want to see if Fletcher makes that official visit to Miami. Things could shift a little bit. I know they got a recent commit from Chris Johnson, a running back, speedy guy. But Fletcher's a big bruiser out of American Heritage. If you're not familiar with that program, I seen Damari Brown. If I'm saying his first name right, I seen that interest with Bama. Crystal Ball go in for those guys as well for Bama. So I know he's an American Heritage guy. Miami felt great about as well, and to see that shift a little bit, they felt good about Fletcher before. Miami got some shit going on. If you pay attention a little bit, like I think the Colonel Lou kid, he flipped to Auburn. They got a defensive back that's about to flip to ECU. So while as confident as they feel about these other kids, there's some leaks in the boat. If you pay attention, there's some leaks in the boat. They're keeping word out. Most of our recruits right now are solidified. There's nobody we're trying to keep from flipping. You know, they got not just those kids. They've been trying to keep Cormani McClain in the fold. It's just leaks. Like people are pursuing it, and it's a lot of like, you know, them having to keep things together. And I don't see that coming from our staff. And we could get some surprises on signing day, but just looking at both camps from, you know, afar right here, you know, unbiasedly, there's a lot of decommits, flipping, and things going on in Miami camp that aren't happening from our committed guys right now. So that's just another thing to watch and pay attention to. So their confidence could be flawed a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, I think with Fletcher though, you know, he pretty much to a point to where he feel like it's really, you know, it's really nothing else to see when it comes to Miami. You know, he been down there a lot for the last couple years, you know, so he felt, you know, grew up a Canes fan, parents huge Canes fans, but mom and dad done signed off on this Florida thing. You know what I'm saying? So they felt that it enjoyed it that much up there till they really on board with this Florida thing. So I mean I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. I think it's more Florida than it is UM right now. You know, with the
Yeah, I
situation.
got. If I gotta put a percentage on Mark Fletcher, I got us 75-25 right now. If they could pull a visit and get him on campus and maybe overpay,
That's a
do
good
something
percent
ridiculous,
right
then
there.
yeah,
That's a good percent.
75-25.
But I think he really fell in love, you know, watching our backfield work and
Right.
watching how them coaches work them backs. And I think he really liked that part, man, to see that, you know, they ain't gonna run him in the ground. Plus
Right.
he gonna be in a good position to get some good eyes on him. He gonna tote the rock, but he ain't gonna be overworked and he can still be productive.
No doubt.
Yep.
I think that play a lot with what's going on right now. I mean, Silk, I ain't no inside. I ain't got no sauces. But I know some people, man. You know, I know some people, you know, especially when it come to Fletcher, you know, one of my closest friends, like real tight with that family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I just found out recently that he a Gator fan. So now he stay in my ear every day, like, bruh. I'm like, listen, I don't want to talk to you. Let me talk. Let me go over here and meet these people.
American Heritage hasn't been friendly to Miami, and it's been a
Nope.
little bit more friendly to us. So we'll see how it all plays out.
And see,
How do you,
Fletcher saw that offensive line too and thought, yeah, I want to run behind that line right there.
Absolutely.
they're giving out these monsters, man.
And Surtain,
Love
man,
to see
like
it.
people sleep on the fact that Patrick Surtain really been in his ear about our running backs coach. You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of piqued this interest
Elijah
back
Luke.
into Florida. That kind of piqued this interest back into Florida, you know, after the staff change. So, you know, you got Surtain, somebody that's, you know, he was around them boys a lot over there at Heritage. You know what I'm saying? So that's somebody that they really
A
respect.
respected opinion. Yeah, a respected
Yeah, they
opinion.
really respect them, you know. So when he say something, they kind of pay attention to it and look into it a little more. So, but I think Fletcher, man, I really like it. I really like it.
No doubt. How do you feel about Jaden Platt, the tight end out of Texas? Right now committed to Stanford. There's some interest from Texas A&M side. Jimbo and the guys, they do feel good over there. There may have been some silent behind the room committing before he took the Florida visit, but he did reach out to our staff and set all this into motion. And once he got on campus, the visit looked like it went very good. He's a kid that values education, which when anybody says that when they pretend when and in the in the recruiting process, I feel good. So when they say the education stuff, because I already know what we bring to the table, and most kids aren't serious about that type of shit, right?
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
be
Right.
just be saying things like when they say education is important, they be wanting like I'm in the tutor you're gonna give me to do write my papers. That type of education is important, but this kid is one that's serious about academics, being committed to Stanford, and when you compare those type of degrees and education, I like where we at with it, and we'll see because right now our tight end recruiting is non-existent.
Right. Yeah, you just said it. You know, he care about education. And you tell you, dude, 'cause he committed to Stanford. So, that right there tell you everything you need to know. And I feel good with where we are with him after the visit. It's just I look at it like this. It's the same with my cousin EJ when he was going through his recruitment. It's
Right.
hard to say no to Stanford. So I will be watching for that, but I honestly feel good with where we are because what you say, you reached out to our staff to set up the visit, and then he was going about the academics. And if you just look at everything that was online, you know, it looked like he was having a great time out there. All the visitors did. I mean, what?
Shout out to the staff, bro.
Yeah, the
Like I'm
staff
be
is
I'm be real with you.
working.
Like the vibes from all the media, right? Everything that we get back, and shout out to all the weirdo rivals that follow these kids' Instagram stories. Y'all boys are the real weirdos, man. Like y'all the MVPs of goofiness and troll activity. I appreciate y'all for providing the timeline humor on a Friday night. There's no buns to be grabbed in your personal life, so you're stalking 16 to 17-year-old kids' Instagram stories. That's great vibes, man. I like that life for you, not me.
Right.
But I like the way our staff moving, bro. You know, so I think they're doing a great job as far as like entertaining these kids, putting the visuals out, getting the timeline buzzing. Everybody was talking about the University of Florida in recruiting this weekend. They could talk about tents on the field, but your ass was talking, and that's good vibes,
Right.
man. Usually around this time, when it pertains to the top dogs, Mullen and them was tucking their tail and looking for who we could beat West Virginia or Maryland for. But right now, we're in the thick of things with the big dogs.
Right.
I definitely think, I think we definitely moving in the right direction. I think maybe a change or two on the staff, but I definitely like the way the staff out here getting it. They
Yeah.
ain't playing. Like you see a couple coaches didn't take off with the team. They was out here dropping by doing visits, man. Hit IMG and a couple places today before they made their way out. So I definitely like what's going on. I definitely think Billy got a plan in place, and if we can, stay patient with as a fan base and get behind it, I think it's gonna work out, man. Like I really do. I really think it's gonna work out.
Likewise.
It's
Likewise.
about
Right.
time, man.
I'm a
Because
Billy
this year,
fan, man.
this year here, man, I put a few more grades in this thing, man. I need,
My shit loaded.
I need to slow down a
My
little
shit
bit,
booming.
Silk. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. I'm trying to go full grade, man. You
Yeah,
gotta let
I'm
those
with
grades.
it. I'm
I
with the
earned these
full
grades,
grade.
bro.
I'm with the full grade, but I can't. I just had a newborn, man. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
Florida
Like,
football is not giving me these grades. I'm gonna tell you that. That's on big guy. Like I don't stress Florida football like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a realist, so my expectations are real when approaching all of this. That's why I looked at the staff and what they're trying to build, and don't want expectate or have my expectations where we're finna win a national championship or compete for one in like 2 or 3 years. Nah, it's a bigger, longer uh, 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 a climb we're trying to do. I don't want to say climb because that's what Norvell used, but it's a bigger picture than to the immediate. We got to see Dan Mullen come in here, get quick gratification, quick success, go to SEC championship games. We got to see McElwain do that. We got to see Champ do that, go to Sugar Bowls, New Year's Six games. All these guys came in and got quick success, and they burned out quick. As a fan, I'm tired of seeing the coach every 3 years, bro. I want some stability because the program stability those are the programs that'll win and shit. Like everybody brings up Dabo because it's just cliche to do, but there's some truth in that shit. Like Dabo is a shitty head coach, but with time brings experience, better hiring. You setting your culture up. You just sinking your feet in and putting a good foundation for a program. And I see Billy the way he approaching staff wise, and he want to be here. Like a lot of
Right.
them other guys was cool to get a Florida job because it's a big job, but Billy want to be here, bro, and he's trying to build something long term, man. I see the vision, so
I
I'm with it.
agree.
Right.
I ain't gonna put on orange and blue goggles and just ride with everything that's being done. I'm gonna question things, I'm gonna challenge things, I'm gonna have my opinions about it, but from an overall perspective, looking at the forest from the treehouse, man, it looks all right. I think I see what he's trying to do.
Right. And I look at it like this: flipping Jay Rashad from Miami pretty much had everybody peak their interest. Say, okay, they look like they're building something there. But it was the
You got
lag
back
weight
to back
commitment
five
last week.
stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Talk
the
to me.
lag weight commitment last week that pretty much said, "All right,
This is a
Billy
serious
ain't playing
program.
around. We got to watch them. They look like
So
they on their way back to being, you know, building the national championship contender. You can start to see that. So as long as he can continue to get his guys in there and get the right kind of guys in there that that want to be there, that want to win, and want to go in there and work hard, I
correct.
feel like it ain't gonna take as long to be that national championship contender as some people may think. You just got to get the right guys in. That starts with recruiting at the high school level and also hitting the portal.
Yeah, you could. Here's my take on that real quick. I want to wrap it up. 'Cause I want to keep it right around an hour, right? But
All
here's
right.
my thing with that, right? I don't think it takes like people have this take like, oh, we gotta wait 7, 8 years. There's nobody's saying that. You could get quick success and get hit the portal and get guys to come in and have a great year next year. Mel Tucker did that, right? At Michigan State, and then the next year
Right.
reality hit. He still got a set culture. Like you could get some quick success in the portal. You could get some make a run for like the SEC East or the national championship in the portal. You can play those games, and that could happen. You could strike gold, but that's not sustainable. The sustainable thing, as we saw with Mel Tucker, is you got to recruit kids. You got to reset the roster, reset your culture, and clean out the bad vibes. You got to burn some fucking sage, and within the program. And that's where we at with it. Like, yeah, Billy could come in and have a big year this year and hit on the portal, but I would take that with a grain of salt. You know, like I want to see what sustainable success look like.
Right. Right. I agree.
Yeah, me too, 100%.
Any final takes before we get out of here, fellas? I want to just keep it, right around a buck.
Hey man, y'all. Hey, I told you, I feel like we headed in the right direction. I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here for it. I see some big things happening real soon and down the road. And like you say, Lagway was huge. You say everybody can see it. These kids can see it as well. Like these kids starting to pay attention to it. You see a lot of hitting Lagway once that thing happens. So, I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. I ain't got shit else to do.
Already.
Yeah.
You, man.
Same here, man. Same here. And hey, just continue to support the program. Stop firing the coach after every loss that we may have, because y'all getting ridiculous. I mean, let's just continue to support the team or the rest of the what we have left of a team right now in the bowl game. Continue to support them, support the staff. Join the Gator Collective if you can. Putting that out there right now. Y'all join, do what y'all can. But I see the vision, and I'm here for it.
Hey man, appreciate y'all boys for hanging out. Always open invite to Logo Talk. Hit my DMs. Let me know whenever you want to pull up. It's always there, man. I'm gonna wrap this up. Until next time, holla at your boy, man.
Appreciate it.
Ace. Ben Raw Dice, man. If your dog need food, holla at my guy. Hey man, it's the roll up, it's the vibes, it's the Logo Talk. Want to do these, if not every week, every other week, man. Bi-weekly. If you're interested in coming on the show and hanging out with me, hit up my DMs or hit up the DMs of the roll up account. Taylor Strange, the producer. Anybody affiliated with the crew, we can get you on here to hang out, get your takes off, your opinions. As long as everything respectful, we're gonna hang out and kick it, give you whatever information that we may have, get my takes off. Super chat is always available. Also, if you want to promote, advertise any products, company, anything on the Logo Talk, hit up my DMs as well. Business is business. Business is booming. It's the Logo Talk. It's the roll up. It's the biggest. It's the vibes, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Like, subscribe. We out you a little bit.